yeah, so that's kind of just a brief, you know, introduction to you about what Montessori is like. And so now I will tell you why I believe Montessori is good for homeschooling, because it is child-centered, so it gives you little time to teach. All you need to do is just support and guide your child through his learning process. It provides independence, but of course, freedom within limits. I think that's very, very self-explanatory. It is hands-on learning. So because of all the materials presented and provided, your child will engage in learning and discover things on his own. Teaches your child to concentrate, work with instruction. So when you will be able to show and model the lesson to your child, it gives him or her the willingness to do it on his own. So yeah, and then easy to make materials. Contrary to what people might say, materials are very easy to find or easy to make. They are commonly used around your household, or you can even write them down on your own. And at the same time, with the materials I'm going to give you, you can easily print them out and, like, you know, work it with your child from home. So yeah, questions so far? Teacher Erica?
So, for the Montessori inspired classroom setup, so how is this applicable for online teaching or online setup?
I think for online setup, you need to also be able to connect that with your student online. Like we did online distance teaching with our kids, but the thing is that they already have knowledge with Montessori. They know what they're doing and how to do it. So basically, we just provided the materials to them, and then while we're teaching with them, they're like doing the things with us, if that makes sense. So I guess it's really about introducing also Montessori to your online students.
Yeah.
And then, like, well, I will show you how to set up the homeschool Montessori way, but maybe it can be applicable to your online kids as well. So I'm not sure. I know the online teaching, I've done it while I was in confinement, obviously, but it has been quite a challenge, so to speak. But I guess, yeah, you just have to connect that with your online class, I suppose.
Okay, so you mentioned about materials, some resources. So, for example, if we want our online school to be accredited by the Montessori school, do they provide us materials, or should we make our own materials?
If you want to be accredited, yes, you will be, well, provide. The thing is that, oh, sorry about that. The thing with materials is, if you want to be accredited, obviously, they will provide you materials, but at the same time, you will buy it from them, because they're, okay, an example I will show you is, okay, this is one example of a Montessori material. This is verb. This is noun. So basically, like, they're not easy to make, but you need to buy them, So, but there are a lot of online resources now because, you know, especially after COVID, or, you know, with everything, doing everything online. So I've found so many materials as I've found before COVID. Like, does that make sense? Like, I was able to find more materials during COVID rather than before COVID, because I guess, yeah, we just have to make ends meet. So yeah, I will show you some materials later on, and I will have some resources. And yeah,
Okay.
question? Yeah, anything more? Okay, so um, in the end, it's really about, her teaching is like, children do not learn by listening, they really learn by doing. That's why a lot of Montessori materials are sensorial, and like almost like it seems that they're playing around it, you know, but it's really like to have that retention to their mind. It's just associated with all these materials, if that makes. Yeah, it's kind of like what Benjamin Franklin said, that tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. So that's really the the ideology of the Montessori pedagogy. Uh, Homeschooling setup. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
First and foremost, I think it's very important that, yeah, you need to invest in a good printer. It doesn't have to be, you know, state of the art or, but it's, I guess, because of the homeschooling setup now from different schools, you will receive a lot of modules, and at the same time, different resources from online or from other people. I think it's just sensible to invest in a good printer, right? Um, can I just have a water break? Give me a minute, okay? Okay, with Montessori, it's really important to like, well, I guess now that you're homeschooling, it's also important to have a very consistent and a routine with your kids. So create a daily routine or schedule that they can easily follow. Um, I think it's very important because, you know, especially that it's a very unusual time, it's very important that kids have this daily routine or schedule. Just because they're not technically in school doesn't mean like they can do whatever they want, if that makes sense. So I have also put up some of this in the resources later. Okay, so for your homeschooling, it's very important to assign a suitable place for your child to be his or her workplace. I don't know how big your house or how small your house, but it's really important to have one specific area for your child to be his workplace. Like, you know, a study area where you can put a table, a chair, and that's really where, you know, this is your study area, this is where your workplace is. Otherwise, it would be, you know, somewhere else. I don't know if your kitchen can be conducive to learning, but having to, you know, to like put your place in the kitchen would mean like you will set up it in the kitchen, and then when it's time for them to eat, they will have to everything and then do it again when you're finished, and then it's a very time consuming activity. But if you have one specific area just for their workspace, it will save you time to put it up, and at the same time it will be very conducive for learning for your kids, that there is that some sort of consistency and a place for them to just really be quiet and do things in that space. So yeah, other things are obviously the materials you will need. So I will show you like how you can set up your materials. Okay, so this can be a table, right? As you can see, so you will have colored pencils. So make sure that it's really a ready environment for your kids. Otherwise, you will say, Ma, nasaan na yung crayons ko? Ma, nasaan na yung pencils ko? Ma, nasaan na yung ball pen ko? So it's really important that you put everything in one place and in order, so that when it's time for them to learn, everything is within their reach, everything is organized, everything is there. So for elementary, this is basically what you need, like construction papers. You need to have at least 2 notebooks for them. I don't know the school setup that the school will have to ask you, but in Montessori, we only have 2 notebooks. One is for their note keeping and the other one is for their daily track. So, and then like everything is just orderly. Parang Marie Kondo lang. Diba? Parang Marie Kondo. The Marie Kondo way. So, and then you provide several books. So materials, but not too overwhelming. Okay. So yeah, organize your materials that are, wait, where do I, okay. So organize your materials in open boxes or easy access like this. It doesn't have to be something new. It can be something like a jar or like kitchen materials, like bowls or cookie boxes, so yeah, or even like Ziplocs can be your organization box for your materials, so make sure you really have an organized place for your kids. And in this age, they're already quite responsible anyway, like give them that responsibility to tidy up their materials, and at the same time it's easy for them to clean it up. So yeah. Yeah, so provide varieties with materials, but not too overwhelming. So again, minimal is the key. I would also encourage, if you can, if you have open shelves where you can just put everything like this, like books, crayons, and in one stuff, in one place, So the more organized, the more conducive to learning it will be for your child at home. And also, please provide reading books and encourage reading time for at least 10 minutes. Elementary children are already good with reading, so at least like encourage them to really spend time with books rather than, in their smartphones or tablets, that sort of thing. Because the more they read, the more they will say no to screen time. Also, take healthy snack breaks. It's also a nice way to make it as a learning activity together. So yeah, try to avoid playing on screen time with when you have that sort of break for the child. So yeah, snack break can be anything like sandwich making, cutting fruits. At the same time, they're learning it on their own and doing it on their own. And also, yeah, do something whether inside or outside your home. Uso ngayon ang replanting, uso ngayon ang mga baking, cooking, and all those sort of stuff. Involve your kid. It's really nice to just really do it as, as family together or part of the activity that he's going to do in the day. Ideally, I mean, I don't know how school work will be like for you guys because I suppose it's very, very different. I mean, it could be very demanding with some of the teachers or some schools, but ideally, school work should only be for 3 hours max, and the rest of the day will be about, exploring other things. But again, I'm not sure on how the setup is when it comes to your, the school that your child is enrolled in. I mean, I have no idea, but ideally, again, it should be only 3 hours max when it comes to quote unquote school work. And if you can, find ways to connect your child with his other classmates and friends. I think I know it's very understandable that you're still fearful of, of having friends, but at least like try to have that really social connection with other kids, because I think it's really, really important for them. So even if you can just talk virtually with them, that will be good. If you can allow them to play outdoors, that will be great, But again, like really find time to connect with his other classmates and friends. So if you started your day about asking your child what he needs or wants to do, it's also very important to assess the end of your child's day, because it's very unusual time for them to, we're in a pandemic basically, so it's also very important to connect and ask them how they feel, and also like with the activities that they're doing. So ask them how, if they're happy, if they're sad, if they're angry, or like if the activities have made them happy or not. I think it's these very small talks are also very valuable to his feelings and to the things that happens around him. Okay, so before I